Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Hazy Simmer here, and today I am having a chit chat about the Crybaby Whims challenge, one that I put on pause because I know so many of you guys originally followed me for the Extreme Ultimate Decades challenge. And while I greatly enjoyed the Extreme Ultimate Decades challenge, at one point I was getting really burnt out on storytelling and I wanted to try something more modern. So I was trying to find another challenge to add to my channel. So we started the Crybaby Whims challenge. I have played this challenge privately one time and I only ever got through generation 1, but I love this challenge. So I was like, yes, I want to do this challenge. I want to put it on YouTube, and I was so excited. My videos did okay. I felt like there was a good little community who enjoyed that as well. But I felt like so many of you guys were upset that I was putting these videos out instead of Extreme Ultimate Decades. Now that we are in April, and I feel like in March, I really did a great job. I'm going to have one Extreme Ultimate Decades challenge a week, period. So as you see on the schedule, I'm trying for 2, but 100% the Extreme Ultimate Decades will come first, since my channel was founded upon you guys loving that. I am currently in the process of patching any out-of-date mods in CC for the Crybaby Whims, so I figured we would change our families up in cast and talk about where we are on this challenge, because I am ready to bring this challenge back to my channel after pausing it. So our matriarch for the Crybaby Whims Gen 1 is Marigold James. She is not our protagonist. She starts off as a protagonist, but right now in her life she is an antagonist, or at least in her marriage. So for those who don't know about the Crybaby Whims, I have an entire playlist set on my channel. Marigold is our first gen. Her colors are yellow and white, and there's some things we need to achieve based on this Crybaby Whims challenge that is inspired by Melina Martinez songs. And it's a really well written challenge by Dryad. I'll link it in my description box below. So as you guys know, I'm a storytelling channel. I would say Extreme Ultimate Decades is really heavy storytelling with minimal gameplay. In the Crybaby Whims challenge, we have storytelling alongside with more gameplay. It is more of a game, so Crybaby Whims is more of a let's play versus the Extreme Ultimate Decades challenge being more of a story, like a cartoon story that you kind of are watching me tell you what is happening. And instead of us living a bunch of game day-to-day life. So if you are looking for more of a let's play, I would say that you would like this one. It is 100% chaotic and dark. Most of the Sims in the Crybaby challenge are chaotic. Neutral are gray. They're morally gray. They're not good people. So we are going to be telling a story about, these flawed characters, and I really love it, and I'm excited to get back into it. And if you guys want a challenge that is no mods, no CC, minimal storytelling, but I am a storyteller, so I do tell you reasons why I make my characters make decisions. But if you want one that is 100% gameplay in a challenge, I would suggest trying out my super lot challenge, is what I'm calling it. I started with a 1x1 tile challenge and I'm turning it into a super lot. My goal is to do a 3-story 64x64 each level before I allow my sim to go outside when she's an elder, and hopefully we can achieve that with one sim. I'm not really sure, but we'll see. And those will be videos once a week. So after that channel recap, I'm going to talk about the Crybaby Whims challenge now. So for the Crybaby Whims challenge, we are halfway through Gen 1. I would say almost done, but her mastering her aspiration for a successful lineage will take us until she has grandchildren. So we'll be working on her for quite a bit. Yellow and white, everyone thinks we're perfect. Please don't let them look through the curtains. I 100% played that up and made it that her dad was this doctor to the stars, but he runs a private pharmaceutical business where behind closed doors, he turns his patients into Stepford housewives. And it's inspired by Stepford Housewife and We Happy Few. So that is the business that her dad is running on the side. So for our sim, we have to keep our mother's beliefs in being the perfect housewife. We marry young. We took good care of our spouse in our home, but we're always around our ex because he's married to our sister, and we already accidentally hooked up with them. We already had their child. We haven't decided if we're going to co-parent because nobody has found out about the affair yet. These are kind of questions we ask ourselves during playing. Is it weird to co-parent? Should you keep seeing your ex? What about your partner? Will they catch you cheating? Will you tell them and tell the truth or continue to live the lie? We have not gotten to those questions yet in our Let's Play. So the goal is to have a high school sweetheart that we started off with bad terms. We played that out to the point of having a high school sweetheart and then getting on bad terms. Have a very caring spouse who you're madly in love with. We played that out. We have a white picket fence home. It is modeled after our world that we're in, but we do have a white picket fence home that is perfect model home for our world. Slowly rebuild our relationship with our ex. We've already done that. Started hooking up, getting pregnant. Already done that. Raise the child under your roof. Once it's no longer a child and a teen, I think it could live with its other parent if it wanted to. Have 3 more children with your spouse. We already have those as well. Divorce your spouse as an adult and take all the children. We're not an adult yet, but that is what we're on the precipice of. Stop being a stay-at-home parent and join the political career. Master our aspiration. Will you continue seeing your ex? This is a question, so this isn't a goal. That is a question. So anything that's a question, we're leaving up to debate. So here is Marigold James. I know all of those things that she is supposedly doing to her husband are clearly terrible things to do to someone you love. But you guys know I have told a very complex story, and her dad technically was brainwashing her. So she was experiencing a moment of relapse of memory, and then she decided she liked getting away with cheating. So unfortunately, she kept true to that. So I'm just gonna chat about our series while I do a little. Just know that the Crybaby Whims challenge is coming back. Next week will be our first episode. That gives me plenty of time to make sure my save file is nice and ready. Yeah, so I'm just giving Marigold some outfits. They live in Tartosa, which is a tropical climate. Her dad is a native of Tartosa, so he is of an olive complexion, and their mom is like this white, like typical white blonde woman. So the girls are kind of mixed with those kind of things. Yeah, so Marigold's technically the sim we are following along with, but she's not the greatest influence of, her generation. She's scarring her kids pretty badly, and I know she was hurt by what her dad did to her, but now she's just kind of repeating the cycle of abuse with her high school sweetheart Jace. He is also repeating the cycle of abuse. Dr. Hilton made Jace become his minion essentially, and because of that he has chosen to grow up to be spiteful, so he doesn't care who he hurts. And I think he even has so he's married to Marigold's sister. He's had an affair with Marigold, and I think he as well had an affair with her mom. If I'm not mistaken, when I go back and watch where we were, at one point, because I had so many crazy things happening in my game, he was flirting with everyone. He even flirted with Dr. Bradford. It was kind of crazy. But that, wasn't intentional. When I originally started playing, I thought that our sim had to master their career. So this whole time I thought she was going to be mastering the career of the politician career, but then it came to find out that she doesn't have to master her career. She has to master her aspiration, which is the family aspiration. So we will be seeing a lot of Marigold and the trauma she's caused on her children. So Sunny and Rosie are definitely her husband's children because her husband Nico has brown red hair. So, and they are twins. Sunny and Rosie are twins. So of course we know that they are not going to be our future generation, because the whole premise of Gen 2 is they don't even know who the real dad is. And that's basically because they see their mom have these 2 men come in and out of their life. And while they could take a DNA test, I think they choose to live oblivious to the fact that I think they just I don't even know. 2 affair children and 2 biological children with her husband. I think Flora is a affair child, if I'm not mistaken. I do not think, there she is. I do not think she is the husband's child. And Ivory is our firstborn child. She is our husband's child. And I haven't decided if she's going to be our heir yet, but she wants to be the perfect student. Every one of Marigold's kids are going to be pink and white until we decide who is the heir, because I'm going to have you guys vote. Meadow is also the affair child. Oh, I think I gave the affair child the green eyes. So Nico has blue eyes, I believe. But I think their eyes are blue-green, like their dad Jace's. So Nico doesn't really notice that they don't have his eyes because he loves his wife so much he just wouldn't suspect. But Meadow is our first affair child, and Flora is our second. So we can either choose one of them to be our heir or Ivory, but we cannot choose the twins at the end. So we have our 3 children with Nico, and we have our affair child. But I just wanted I just wanted to introduce you guys to them. Guys can let me know as we play the series which one you believe should be our heir for Gen 2. So this is Nico. Nico is Marigold's husband, and everybody is in their beachwear because we live in a tropical environment and they're always in the water. Nico definitely needs a makeover because Tartosa, I mean, like, it is windy, but so we'll give Nico a little makeover and chat about Nico. He is Marigold's perfect husband. It's kind of like he is supposed to be Mr. Right, but she still cheats on him. And it's just nobody understands, like, why would you do that? He's so perfect. So he's been the best dad, the best husband. He works hard. He wants to support his family. He loves them so very much. He also is a writer, and he would like to, and he loves El Salvadorado. That's where they fell in love. Currently, he is investigating businesses that are being ran out of El Salvadorado, but owned by people in Tartosa. And he's come to the realization, or actually, I think, so his wife, Marigold's mom, has a really shady past. So someone from her past tried to extort Helena Hilton for money, or she was going to tell everyone what happened when she was like stealing stuff from medical school and selling it on the, black market. And they chose not to give in to the espionage. So the blackmailer has found Nico and given him the evidence that his in-laws have been committing these crimes. So Nico is kind of just now scratching the surface of how dark the family he is married into is. And he is considering, what he's going to do about this and if his wife even knows and all of those things. Jace is Marigold's high school sweetheart that she fell in love with and had the affair with. He wanted to be a veterinarian. He was a very good all-American boy, but unfortunately he was corrupted under Dr. Bradford and has basically become his minion, or his like second in command. So he is dark and evil now because he was hurt by the family, and instead of healing and reporting them and trying to bring down Dr. Bradford, he's kind of decided he's going to attempt to take over Dr. Bradford's empire. So he is now a doctor. He isn't on the path to become a vet anymore. That was like his high school dream, but Dr. Bradford made him become, his essentially pseudo son. And Dr. Bradford and Helena and Marigold's sister Belle blackmailed Jace into marrying Belle and claiming her unplanned pregnancy as his own. So that way it would cover their reputation and nobody would know that Belle had a child out of wedlock. So Jace was originally a innocent bystander of this toxic family, but when he was brought into the fold, instead of exposing them, he has chose to not only join ranks, but overtake Dr. Bradford and eventually be the one who is the head of the family making all these decisions. I am going to dress him in the colors for Marigold because they're currently having an affair. And I think he should have an outfit to represent that. This is Belle Windsor. She is Marigold's older sister. Obviously, she looks very scary because she is a victim of being botched, and she has given into the brain-altering chemical medication that her father, Dr. Bradford, has basically invented. She has given into taking the shifters, the medicine that her dad invented to control people and turn them into the perfect like Stepford housewife. She relies heavily on them, and Jace has also been experimenting with his own versions of shifter on her, because essentially in his eyes, she ruined his life. So he can do whatever he wants. But she has been really destroyed. Like you can tell she has like a bad nose job, botched lips, and she's skeletal. She's not healthy or happy because so there's this guy in high school who told her he loved her and wanted to marry her. She chose to be with him. And unfortunately, she got pregnant and he didn't want to marry her. So that left her as a teenage, that left her about to graduate with no future husband and pregnant. And for her family, that is an extreme embarrassment. So they told Jace to marry her through blackmail. And Jace did step up and marry her. But unfortunately for Jace, that all backfired and everything. So Belle witnessed her parents murder her high school sweetheart. So she told Jace that, I'm scared of my parents. They say that, I talked them into blackmailing. I talked them into having you claim that you're my child's father and marrying me. And now, I'm afraid what they'll do if that doesn't happen. So Jace kind of got stuck in that situation, which makes him very resentful of Belle. And they tried to make things work, but it just didn't work out that way. Whenever Belle was pregnant with the twins, she felt just immense remorse about what she did to her sister. And she started to see the errors in her ways but unfortunately it was a little too late. So she's just kind of been a zombie. She's basically had a medical lobotomy and isn't herself anymore at all. So she has paid for her crimes. I'm not saying like she should be forgiven. I'm not saying, she's right, but she was a child growing up in a crazy situation and made the best choices in the moment that she could. I just now realized she had these. And she made the best choices. Well, she made selfish choices in a moment that has affected her for the rest of her life. These are her twins, Cammie and Landon. They are with her high school sweetheart. Her and Jace have no children together. I'm going to just be working on their features. I know they have blue eyes and blonde hair. So Cammie is their daughter. Cammie is the daughter she had with her high school sweetheart, whose name is also Landon. She named her son after him. And she's raised her daughter to be a good student and a smart girl. She's also taught her daughter not to trust her grandparents, like in a way where she's like, so she doesn't want her daughter to fall in the trap so she's tried to teach her daughter to, how important it is to be a smart woman, to work for yourself, not depend on anyone else, and not to take handouts from her grandparents. But she also has told her daughter not to talk about it. She doesn't want them to know that she's like, not poisoning, but she is poisoning her children against them because of how toxic and terrible they are. Essentially, she's just hoping that they'll pass away before her kids are old enough to be ruined by her parents. Cammie is a self-assured bookworm, and they're all side characters. We'll never be playing them fully, but I did want to kind of make sure that Belle is trying to correct the mistakes that happened with her through her children and give them a better life. So Cammie will not be a part of the darkness that is our family. So that's Cammie. And her twin brother Landon is named after his biological father. He loves the outdoors and he is a practice makes perfect sim. He looks so much like his biological dad. It's really crazy. I mean, obviously it shouldn't be crazy. That should be the norm. But I feel like anyone who knows their family and knew who Landon originally was would be hard pressed not to realize like this is his son. And he's just like a little studious guy. But Landon is really sweet and kind. He listens to his mother as well. He's very close to his mom in comparison to their dad, Jace. He's very close to them. Obviously, Jace was never wanting to be their dad, so he didn't step up and play the role perfectly. He only plays it from the outside. He doesn't play it from the inside. Finale is the Hilton household themselves. Helena Hilton, this is Marigold and Belle's mom. They also had a daughter named Sandy and a son. It doesn't say, it just says Helena Hilton's son. So we haven't named him yet. Their daughter, Sandy, came out of nowhere. Marigold was basically so lost in her paranoia and delusion and on her dad's prescription shifters that she didn't even know that they had a child. Like she has another sister that was born roughly when she was graduating high school. So she has a sister who's like 6 years old and a little brother. She knew about the brother. And I think the brother is Eddie. Oh, his name is Eddie. Is Eddie's dad actually okay? Yeah. So Bradford is the dad, but when I saw this baby born with these green eyes, I thought, oh my gosh, what if he's also Jace's? Because I caught Jace and Helena having an affair. So Dr. Bradford, our OG criminal, met Helena in college. They were both medical students, and Helena got caught stealing prescription drugs and selling them, and she was forced to do like school community service. Like her professor who caught her didn't turn her in. He just forced her to do community service. And Dr. Bradford, and Bradford was that professor's teacher's aide. So Bradford and Helena got really close, and he found out that, Helena came from a troubled background and that she grew up really poor and her parents were in and out of jail from drug use, and that she's had tons of partners who also, were addicted to narcotics. And she was like, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a drug people could be addicted to that would make them a good person and alter their mind and help them be, just good people? And Bradford kind of took her idea and what research that she had on that and expanded upon it, creating shifters. Like, how in the game, We Happy Few, people take joy and it makes them like, la, 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 happy, seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. That's essentially what a shifter does, but it also allows you to be brainwashed like a Stepford housewife. So not saying that you have to be a housewife, but I'm talking about the movie Stepford Housewives, where these guys turn their wives into their perfect version of a wife. Originally, Helena did agree to be the experiment of the drug when Bradford brought it to her. But so the first time she did it, she made a video afterwards, or she made a video before she did it to tell herself who she wanted to be. So he wasn't in control of changing her narrative, essentially. But she's been on different variations of shifters over the last, 2 decades, that at this point he has brainwashed her, he has manipulated her and tweaked her. So even though she was willing in the beginning, because this is an experimental brain altering drug, how willing is she now? Because she's no longer herself originally giving that initial consent. So it kind of is that like very dark, um, gray, honestly, morally black at this point. Like, he thinks that she is still a willing participant because she initially consented, but every time she's more and more pliable because her brain is being altered. So that is kind of where we get back to the Nico situation. Dr. Bradford and his partners who help him develop this, they use this like special plant from El Salvador to create this pheromone that alters the brain chemistry, where these, people can be malleable and turned into like a brainwashing psychosis situation. Nico is in El Salvador right now, on a work abroad situation, and he has now found out this information. So, he most likely is going to be investigating Dr. Bradford's shady business. He's also a writer and a reporter. So there's all those layers when it comes to it. And where we are with Helena, Dr. Bradford had a bigger ambitions. Instead of, these people taking permanent medication daily where they can relapse on it and, start to have flashbacks and brain fog, he wanted to develop a chip that would permanently secrete and change their brain forever. And Helena was meant to be the first experiment, but currently she is unresponsive and in a vegetable-like state in their home. He set up like a private little hospital room for her, but currently she is not able to take care of anybody. And she's been in a vegetable state for a little while now, and nobody's noticed. Jace was also there, a part of the experiment when it went wrong. I'm not really sure if he had anything to do with it, but considering he was having an affair with Helena, I feel like he didn't. I just think Dr. Bradford's ambitions were higher than his abilities, as well as Dr. Bradford has been looking for a way to prolong his life, and he has heard about vampires and vampire blood. Vampires are in The Sims. I do not plan on making this a paranormal Let's Play, although some of this Let's Play does deal with the paranormal based on the challenge. I do not like actively plan on seeking extra, but it wouldn't be unheard of if vampires exist in this world for a doctor who is looking for an egotistical doctor who has a god complex to be looking for vampiric blood to experiment with to prolong his own life. So that would be the only way we bring that into the story. But that's what I can remember where we left off. And I hope you guys enjoyed our chit chat, getting to catch up with our family and check in on their casts. And the next Crybaby Whims you see will be our coming back episode. So without further ado, I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.